this idea that our history's been sort of neglected, and our women's history has been kind of written out of the history books, and so we don't know a lot of what's been done for our sakes, and I think that's one of the most exciting things about the film, giving people a reminder of that.
What gave you the right to stand in the middle of a riot and watch women beaten and do nothing? You're an hypocrite.
I uphold the law.
The law means nothing to me. I've had no say in making the law.
That's an excuse. It's all we have.
We break windows. We burn things, because war's the only language men listen to. Because you've beaten us and betrayed us and there's nothing else left.
This is a film with a lot of grown-up and complicated themes. So, Carey, again, why did this film speak to you, particularly the themes of this movie?
Reading it, there was just so much that just felt, that it wasn't going to be just a slice of history. It was going to be talking about things that matter to women today. And I loved the character. I thought, she was nothing like any other character I'd played, and I'm always trying to find new things to do. And that she had this extraordinary journey, that she starts the story completely ordinary and reluctant and nervous and shy and kind of retreating from the world, and she's sort of brought out into the world by these women and kind of finds her voice, and I thought that was just such a great journey to tell.
We were talking earlier about her journey and how you structured the screenplay, particularly about how it doesn't hit you over the head. It's full of nuance, it just builds on itself, and especially her character. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think I wanted to look at the kind of major and the minor, and that big political change can happen in the smallest domestic moment. And also it was to get into the mind of what would make one become an activist and a militant activist. What would make one slash a painting in an art gallery, or set fire to a library, or chain oneself to railings, or blow up a pillar box, or blow up a house. And being infected by this growing sense of kind of global inequality and gender abuse across the world with this digital age. And so it was always about just slowly calibrating it so that it did have a very kind of quiet thriller. It's a small film, but it is about a moment of big political change, and I wanted to see it. I think we all wanted to contain that through the eyes of this woman.
And Sarah, can you talk about your experience with this subject matter and your research?
It felt really, really exciting to unearth this story, this overlooked story, and finally bring it to the big screen and work with it with an ensemble of women actors like we had. And it was just an extraordinary process. I'd wanted to do it for 10 years, and it took 6 years to get it off the ground. And as Abby said, we had to sell it as a kick-ass movie with explosions to get people interested in
Well, it did have
engaging
explosions.
with it. It did have explosions, but really it was the desire to make something that resonated with the 21st century issues of inequality and spoke to people all over the world now.
And then when we started doing the research and reading the accounts of these women and their own words, their own testimonies about their lives, and that was a huge kind of moment, and just the more we worked on it, and the more that we spent time talking about these women and obviously making the film, it was hugely inspiring, and we were so excited, because the story was so enormous and such a huge part of our history and had just never been told before. So to get to be the ones to do it was very exciting.